y'all, how y'all doing today? My name is Monique Turner. I am your purpose expert with never personal, always purpose. All right, so today's video is how to prepare when you are fighting a case, right? Because when we are fighting a case, then we don't know what's going to be the outcome. We don't know if we're going to be able to get off, be able to get house arrest, get probation, or if we're going to actually have to go and do some time. Right? So for me, when I was fighting my federal case, I automatically knew that I was going to go do some time because I had always heard that nobody beats the feds. I knew that I had to get everything in order, especially being that I was a single parent and I was leaving behind my son who was 7 years old at the time. So I really needed to get things in order. I had just lost my parents a year and a half prior to me being indicted. So once I got indicted, I was blessed to be able to get $250,000 signature bond, so I was out in 9 days once I went up for my bail hearing. So praise God for that. So while I was out, I was fighting my case for like a year and a half. And during that process, I had to get things in order. Now let me tell you something. I didn't get things in order the way that I should have, the way that I wish I had I known what I know now. But again, at the time, I was only 25 years old. I was lost, just lost my parents. I had a broken mindset. I was all over the place, mentally, physically, spiritually, and everything. I was a wreck. In that moment, I didn't realize how much of a wreck I was. I actually thought I had everything going on and had everything in order. So I want to give you some tips on some things that you should do if you are currently fighting a case, or if you know somebody that's fighting a case, then make sure you share this video out with them, because this is valuable information. And I'm not just telling you this because I want to tell you. I'm telling you this because I've been through it. I fought my case on the streets for a year and a half, and then I had to go surrender and serve 5 years in federal prison. Another time, I fought my case for a year and a half, and I ended up with a drug diversion. That's when I fought a state case. Another time, I ended up fighting the case, took it all the way to where I was about to go to trial. They didn't want to do trial. At the day of trial, they came with a great offer. Either I can do 9 months in the jail, but they was recommending that I do those 9 months in a halfway house, or I could try to go to trial and fight the case. So I ended up taking the deal. I was blessed in that deal to end up getting 9 months on an ankle monitor. So you never know what's going to happen. But like I said, when I was fighting this federal case, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew that I was going to have to go away. Here are some tips on things that you can do if you are in that process. Number one, save some money. Don't be out there spending up all your money knowing that you are unsure of what is going to happen. You might have a good support system, family, friends, a wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, all that. But let me tell you a little secret. When you go to jail, baby, it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't know who is going to be there. Everybody that say they's going to be there, you have no idea if they're going to be there or not. And you got to be willing to accept it. Don't take it personal. It's never personal. It's always purpose. You did the crime. You do the time. Right? So you got to be willing to accept that. And I'm telling you that from experience. So many people that was rocking with me every day, all day, there, anytime Monique called or whatever, they was right there. Think they was right there when I was in prison serving 5 years? No. Not at all. You think they was putting some money on my books? Nope. You think they was coming to visit me? Nope. You think they answered the phone when I called? Yep. Because guess what? They wasn't paying for it. It wasn't collect. So let me tell you something. You better be real careful, and that's going to get me to my next one, which is making sure that you spend time with your family and with the people that really, really matter. The people that you know that you matter to and that matter to you. When we in the streets and hustling and getting that fast money, oh, it's all fun and games. Then everybody there, they with you, they love you, they rocking. But like I said, when you gone and you need them and it ain't no more of them needing you, then tables turn and it's a whole different ball game. Out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes people have good intentions and they just not built like that. And I get that too. So that's why I'm saying, don't take it personal. I didn't take it personal. I still came home and talked to everybody that wasn't there for me when I was in jail. I still came home and rocked with them because I didn't take it personal. Because guess what? I did the crime. So since I did the crime, I had to do the time. And what I do know is had I asked them for some money, then I know that they would have gave it to me. I believe that in my heart. So I'm not tripping. Right? I didn't need to ask them for no money because one, I had everything set up right. Two, I had a great support system that took care of me. right? Because I was blessed that my brothers and sisters and my cousin is like my sister and my son's father, they took great care of me. And so I was blessed that I had an amazing support system that I didn't have to go out and ask nobody else for no money. Right? So that's another thing. Make sure all that's in order. So you want to make sure that you spending time with your family because they matter. They are important. They are going to be the ones that are going to be there for you. And now when I say family, I mean the ones that you know that are going to be there for you. Not just family because they family, because y'all got the same blood flowing through your veins. Because guess what? That don't mean that they gonna be there neither. It's a lot of family members that's not gonna be there, that's gonna judge you, talk about you, and not be there. But as soon as you come home, it's, hey, Monique, how are you? Oh, I love you and miss you. Okay, I love you and I miss you too. It is what it is. It's never personal. It's always purpose, right? It's on you. Right? You got to own it. You got to take accountability so that you don't get caught up taking it personal, but you focus on the purpose. All right? So the next one is make sure you get them finances in order. Make sure you're saving your money and getting everything in order, all your finances. If you have a house, apartment, anything, then you got to see, is it somebody that you can have living in it while you're gone? Are your kids older? For me, my son was younger. So I was blessed to have my little sister come in and continue to take over the rent where I was living. Right? So when I came home, I still had my same apartment. My son was able to still go to that same house because he didn't live at home with my little sister. She was 17 at the time. He lived with his granny on his dad's side of the family. So I was blessed that my son was well taken care of. See, and these are the things that you want to make sure that you are getting in order before you have to self-surrender, especially if you're a parent. Like my son went to school in Pittsburgh. I had to make sure I ended up transferring my son, getting him in school in San Francisco where I knew that he was going to live. So I had him all the way set up before I left. Right? I had that transition take place while I was home, so therefore he could see what it was going to be like. That's my next one, which is make sure that you talk to your kids. It's so important. If you are a parent and you have kids and you fighting the case and you finna have to self-surrender and you're going to have to leave them, let me tell you something. My son was 7 years old at the time. I definitely had a conversation with him and talked to him about it. It was devastating. It was. He was like, no, Mom, and where are you going? I want to go. And can you go? I want to go right now. And all these different things. And every time he would come visit me, and then when he would leave, he would be so mad and angry. And so this is what I'm saying. You want to make sure that you talk to your kids and you explain to them what's going on. That he learned through those different experiences that he went through with me going to prison. It's just amazing how he took that challenging experience and turned it into a positive. And so I'm so blessed and thankful for that he didn't hold a grudge and hold that against me and all these different things. And this is why it's important. Talk to your kids. If you have credit, I didn't have credit then. I know how important credit is now. So I'm going to give this tip. Get a secure credit card and start having activity on it. So therefore you are establishing credit. So when you come home, you already have a line of credit established. Now, if you already have credit and you got a bunch of credit cards that you need to pay them off. Don't go to prison or jail and then now you are allowing your credit to go all the way down, because if you're going to be in jail less than 7 years, then you still going to come home to all that same debt. So make sure that you pay those credit cards off. Again, that's a part of getting your finances in order before you have to self-surrender. Self-surrendering is no joke. You want to make sure that you have everything in order. And most importantly, you want to make sure that you have your kids in order, especially if you are a single parent the way that I was at the time. I was blessed though. My son had his father, but I was still a single parent. And if you have a spouse and if you have a family and kids at home, you got to make sure you have everything in order. I had one of those scares. When I was blessed to get the 9-month ankle monitor, I had my wife and kids. I was so mad at myself that I just couldn't believe that I was probably going to have to leave them for 9 months. But God blessed me with this ankle monitor, so my kids had no clue to what was going on. So that time I didn't tell them because I was so ashamed and so embarrassed to have to be putting my son through that again. So I was really waiting to see what the outcome was going to be. Since I knew I wasn't going to be uprooting his whole world again like I had to the first time, because he was going to be able to stay at home because I was married. So he would stay home and his day-to-day activities would continue as as normal. I just wasn't home. Plus, there was a great possibility for me not to go to jail, but to get the ankle monitor. So that was another reason why I didn't say nothing at the time, right? Just because I know y'all probably like, well, wait a minute, Monique, you contradicting yourself. You say 1 minute tell, the next minute don't. Like I said, when I knew I was fighting that federal case, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about if I was going to go have to self-surrender. When you know that that's what's going to happen, get everything in order. Because when you don't, then you make it 10 times harder for yourself and for everybody else that's there supporting you, right? Because you have people that you are going to be dependent on now because it costs to be in jail, right? And so now that's when you got to get creative and get you some side hustles and figure out ways to make money. Get you a good paying job while you in there so you don't leave a burden for your family and friends. Because again, you did the crime, so you got to do the time. So you got to set everything up. This is why you got to save money. Don't end up going to jail and you ain't got no money. That's not going to make no sense, and that's not right to the people that are outside that loves you, that you will be calling all the time to send you some money, because of course, yeah, you get 3 meals in prison, but that food is nasty. We all know that, so we all want commissary. So why don't you go ahead and do your research? How much commissary can you buy a month? What is it that's on the commissary that you know that you're going to want? See how much money that you feel that you're going to be spending every month on commissary so you could begin saving that amount of money now, so when you go self-surrender, you at least got at least a year of the money saved automatically. So therefore, the money that people are sending you along the way is just extra instead of money that you actually need. I'm telling y'all, that's what I did, and that's what really helped save me, is because I self-surrendered with enough money to be okay for enough time to give my family time to be able to adapt to needing to send me money every month. Because I knew my spending limit was $300 a month, and I knew my phone was $100 a month, because in federal prison, you only get 300 minutes a month. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Except for the holidays, we get an extra 100 minutes. So there was a set spending limit. Unless I wanted to spend somebody else's spending limit, then I would have had to pay a little bit more. And sometimes I would do that. Have family put money on other people's books so I could order extra food. Just doing too much. Just did way too much. So another thing is, I don't suggest doing that, because that was just doing too much. Spending way too much money in prison that I didn't need to be spending. I should have been saving that. So think about that. Key thing that I would tell you, if you are in the process of getting ready to self-surrender and you know that you finna do some time, really think about what are you so passionate about, and you begin working that while you are in prison. Don't just be in prison sitting around doing absolutely nothing like I did. All right? Be in prison and educate yourself. Learn something. There's all different types of trades that you can learn. I was so mad that at the end of my time, I started learning HVAC. So I don't know enough right now to do my own HVAC system, but I could have, had I been smart, and instead of wanting to be lazy, like, ooh, I got it going on, I got money, I don't need to work, I want the job that I don't have to do nothing. So I would sweep the yard for 30 minutes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's all I did. Because I didn't want to do nothing. Because I didn't need to. Because I didn't need their money. Because I had money coming in. That was just dumb thinking, though. Because I was down for 5 years. You know the way that I could have educated myself in those 5 years? Anyway, it's all right. In those 5 years, I was blessed to find God and find myself and renew myself. So I praise God for that. All right, y'all. My name is Monique Turner. I am your purpose expert with Never Personal, Always Purpose. These are the tips on what to do if you are in the process of fighting a case or self-surrendering. Make sure you took notes. If you didn't, make sure you watch it again. Go ahead and subscribe, though, to this YouTube channel. You're going to get all types of videos on all different types of tips and things that you can do. If you are formerly incarcerated, fighting a case, in the process of self-surrendering, any of those things, or if you are just in the criminal justice industry or have family and friends that are in the criminal justice industry, then this is the channel for you. All right, y'all. Y'all stay blessed.